All right, so we are back again, and I'm going to try to teach you how to draw in a manga style. Now, I have been asked by a number of people to show you guys how to draw manga style. Now, first of all, I'm not a big manga drawer. I love manga, I love anime, but I'm not a big manga drawer, and there are so many different styles from so many different artists. So I can't show you this and say, okay, this is how you do it. You have to develop your own type of style. Everybody has their own style. You just haven't really let it come to the surface yet. So if you already have your own style, even if it's just a small amount, it's just hard to change from another style, from your style to another style. You might be able to mix the two, but it's hard to change it. So what I want to do, and I think I already said this. I don't know if I said this because my mind is trying to go through the lesson. Is when people ask me to teach stuff, sometimes it takes me a while to get it because it's not that I don't want to do it. It's just that my thing is, how do I present it so that you guys can understand? So, and that's the big thing. If you know me or if you've been on my channel, I try to break it down to its simplest. And if it's somebody asks me to show them how to draw something and I don't know how to show you how to draw it. I might be able to draw it, but if I don't know how to show you how to draw it, then it's going to take some time before I figure it out on top of all the other things that I have. So what I want to do is draw something and then draw and then switch it up and then draw it in manga style. Um, as I said, I cannot show you how to draw manga style. I can show you the steps or what to look at, the differences, so that you can change up to draw manga style. And a lot of people are like, come on, come on, come on. So let me just draw something in my style. As I said, that's like teaching you how to draw my style. I can only show you how I draw something and then let you kind of go from there. So I'm going to start talking. So when I talk, it's kind of hard for me to focus, especially when I'm trying to do a position. So mine is, of course, the American style, or what they call the Western style. It might be a little short because the torso is big. But I'll cut the legs off just because. And there's a big difference. It's kind of easier to draw manga style, but in the same way, it's kind of harder to draw manga style, and I'll show you in a second. So this is how I basically go about. Hopefully you can see this because I draw light. Because if I erase, then yeah, I want my stuff to be erased. So this is my Western style of drawing. Whenever I draw, I'll draw like this. So give me a few more seconds, and I will solidify this drawing. And then I will give you the manga version. How's that going to go? That goes back over the knee. And this is my quick drawing here. And if I may, I like to ink this with your permission so that you can really kind of get to understand what I'm doing muscle wise. I don't want to fast motion it, so I'm not going to fast motion it, but so it's going to be a really quick ink drawing. That should be there. Bicep, tricep. And there is a great difference between the two. Drawing styles and it may be a little more simpler than you would imagine. But I say it's simpler, but it's harder because of what they focus on. And I don't want to get too far until I get this thing done. And it's raining outside. I'm a rainy person. I love the rain, especially when you don't have to go anywhere. You go back to bed. And I'm still on vacation, so I get to draw and do a few more videos, and get to take like 2 naps a day. I'm a nap person. I love a nap because a nap it clears the mind. You don't have to really think about stuff. You just like lay there, unless you have kids. And I feel for women that have kids, or even men that have kids, that just, you can't really just chill. Just, you know what I'm saying? You gotta, I got nothing against kids, but I'm at the age now where, I like the peace and quiet. I just like quiet, and kids just, I don't know how y'all do it. I did it once, but don't want to do it again. Anyway, okay, so that is the Western style. That is my style. As I say, I can't teach you to draw like this. I can only show you the steps that I take to draw, and then you have to incorporate that into your style. Now, if I drew that manga style, or manga-ish style, because this is not no Oreo Tomiyami or whoever these guys are, style, you might say, oh, that's not this, because you might look at one particular person's style and say, oh, that's not anime because this doesn't look like this. But there are, just like there are different Western comic book artists, there are different manga artists. So you have to understand that. So, okay. First of all, let's do this. And I'm going to have to change this anyway. So, all right, Brian, come on, get with it. Get your head together. It's hard to get out of one style to do another style. That's what I'm saying. If you have a style already, it's going to be hard for you to just change overnight. He's a little short. He's a little tall. So what I'm doing is I'm doing it in my style first, just to get this kind of same proportion, same figure. And then I'm going to do the manga style. And just like you see me drawing, I teach shapes. I show you how to do this thing with shapes. I look at the body as a puzzle. I was self-taught. I didn't have any art school or, comic book instructor or whatever, anatomy teacher to show me. I had to kind of like look and just draw and practice. And I started measuring the body to see how long this is and how long that is, and put that ruler up against it to see what happens when you twist. So basically self-taught. So this is my style, and it took me whatever years to, develop. So for me to just say, oh, I'm going to change it and I can do other styles, but it always falls back into my style. Okay, so that's basically almost a carbon copy of this. So now I'm going to turn this into more of a manga style. And the big difference between manga style is manga is fresh and clean. That's not the word I'm saying. Manga is they simplify it. They simplify the body to where you don't have a lot of muscles. Like this one, this is the Western style. This is like, this is Batman, Superman, Captain America type of stuff. These guys are more cartoony with it, and they only use the simplest of lines, and they have the shapes. And that's the one thing you're going to have to learn is the shapes of your body parts. These guys really don't use a lot of muscle, and the characters are usually just slim, and the focus is on everything else except the body, shall we say. Now, unless you're looking at like a bunky kind of anime where these guys are super fighters, then they want to make them cut and shredded. That's a whole different story, but they still use their style and then just add the muscles. But the average anime is going to be a lot thinner, and they're gonna focus on the curves of the body more than they focus on the giant size of the muscles. As I say, it's a lot easier because you don't have to worry about, oh, is this muscle right? Does this go here? Does this go there? But you have to focus on exactly where parts of the body go in and where they come out at, because that's just how they do it. Now, the one thing about manga or anime, was I calling this anime all along, is that one thing they focus on is the clothes. You won't see too many naked, unless it's female. You don't see too many naked people in manga. They focus on the clothes, and they focus on the, what's the word? The motion of the character. That's one thing they do. They focus on the motion, and of course your face has got to be like that. What is that? Kind of like a spinning top. Spinning top back in the day was shaped like this, and it was that, and I believe you had the string that go around it, and it had the little thing, and it spun around. That's all it was. Just pull it, and it just spin around. Oh, that was just great excitement back in the day. That was just like great excitement back in the day. Focus now. Don't play with me. It's Friday. All right. So now, when they do muscles, and I'll explain this whole neck thing in a minute. When they do muscles, they do the very minimum of muscle. Very minimum. Now let me ink this. And let me use a fatter pen to give it more of that cartoony anime style. Is this thing working? This is one of my favorite. These are zebra. I think they're Chinese zebra. I love these things. I think I bought like 4 sets. This is still my first set. This one is kind of running out. And as I say, you have to learn the curves of the body before you really try to attempt some really good manga style drawing. Because if you don't have those curves right, then you're not in the ballpark. And as I say, with the body, they simplify it as best as possible because they're putting clothes on their figures. A lot of good folds, a lot of wrinkles, compression folds. They focus more on the motion and the emotion of the body and the emotion in the face. That's probably why they have the big eyes, because they want you to see the expression in the face, because that's what it's about. Hands and faces are the ones that give you the most storytelling, shall we say. And of course the face is so simplified as well, because you want to focus on the eyes. If that, see too many lines, change it from manga to something else. So basically, that's it. That would be the manga version of this guy. The hair would probably be the same. Hair is hair, regardless if it's in manga or if it's in the Western style comics. But your neck is always going to be small like that. You don't have the brutish, is that the right word for it? The neck that's just thick like that. Unless they have some oversized, big, giant, kind of guy. It's usually going to be like that. And the face is simplified. And the neck tells you, as I said in a number of videos, this is my head, and this is my head. The neck kind of tells you the age of somebody and the strength of somebody. So these are 3 different headshots, shall we say. Same oval, larger size neck. This could be a teenager, or usually teenagers have skinny necks, or a young guy, young average man. This could be, you know, somebody that goes to the gym a lot. It could be like the Captain America type, and this is like your Colossus, maybe Hulk type, like that. But the Hulk shoulders are going to come up here. Hulking guys, the shoulders are going to come way up there. So, you know, with no neck, really no neck. But you always get that small neck in manga, and the faces are really simplified. You get, because the nose is considered ugly in art. So that's why they only use this little slash. Maybe sometimes they'll put like a little shadow under it. And then the eyes are big because they want to show the expression. Now, there's so many different manga style eyes. If you know anything about manga, you know about that. Eyes are, they vary. They could be like this. They could be just all the way. You know, they vary. And of course, you have the big, overly big pupil that goes in it to, you know, show that expression and that color that they play around with so much. There's just so many ways that these guys do eyes. It's just, yeah. And of course, girls' eyes are always going to be bigger than the guys' eyes, the pointy type eyes up. And I did a video. If this is my face, let's draw a bigger one. If this is my face, my head, here's my eyes. For a man, you're going to have the eye stay on that line like that. For a female, here's your eye line. You're going to have those eyes. This end of the eye is going to go up off the eye and then come down. Gives you that kind of like cat, that little cat kind of eye. And then you have the big eyeballs. The eyeballs, yes. And then, of course, but even at that the lips are Western style because they don't do too much with the lips unless they just kind of want to make the female more sexier. You know, what is it? Not the bad guy, the heroine type, but you know they don't tend to do too much lips unless basically she's just this just sexy kind of, you know, bad girl kind of female. So, and then they do the big eyes because it's cute. You know what they say, babies are cute because they have big eyes. But you're born with the size eyes you retain. Your eyes don't grow. Your eyes are not small like this, and then they grow with your body. You're born with those size eyes. And that's why if you have, you know, baby has like these big old eyes like that, you're like, oh, he's so cute. He's cute. And I guess manga just capitalized on that, you know, with the big eyes. And they're like, oh, it's cute. So yeah, that's just, you know, anatomy lesson or, you know, whatever. That you're born with your size eyes. So and you just practice. Go look at some anime. I'm sure if you want to draw manga, you've looked at a lot of anime. You kind of figure out what style you like, and you want to mimic it. So the point of it is plain and simple. The body is as simple as possible. You can even use the squares, which I started out with, which is this. I use this to get motion. And if you're trying to get motion from your character, let me turn this over so I can get some more and pull my camera over if it doesn't fall off. So I can pull this down. the best thing to do is what I do when I'm drawing small figures. If I'm drawing figures in motion, I'll start with just this little, just think of a stick of chewing gum like that. I'll bend it, then I'll put my head wherever and my legs wherever. And that's another thing with manga, is they will take the body to its limit, shall we say. They will stretch, you know, that leg will go like way out here, and this leg will, you know, just to its very limit, you know, where only Spider-Man can do stuff like that. But this is like an everyday thing for manga. You know, they'll just like go crazy with it, which is action, you know, which is, you know, really action. So basically, I'll take this gum thing. Which leg will I use? Let's just use this legs, and then I will. And this is me using my style, turning it into manga. This, and it's just to get the body parts right. As I said, it's a puzzle. It's a puzzle. And then this leg has got to come up here and go here, and this leg has got to go here. It's going to curve around here, and this has got to go up here and then back. I don't know, would that hand be facing upwards or downwards? I don't know. Just use a palm. So now at that point, then you say, okay, this is going to be my manga style. So minus the muscles, but you have the direction in there. You just have to know where these muscles go so that you can do your indentations and outdentations and middle dentations. So it's going to be like this, is that. Remember, they're not really muscular unless you're doing those crazy muscular warrior characters. And that's a whole nother video. In, little elbow, out. And this is a quick, okay, this is a quick, so don't judge me. We have this. Where is it? And then a lot of times you're going to have longer legs. There are styles that really have those extra long legs. I can't think of the guys, the guy, Lelouch. I can't think of what that is. My daughter messed it up for me and told me what happens in the second season. I saw the first season and they did another one. And then, you know, she told me what happened. And I was like, I can't even watch it now because you just messed it up for me. And the heads are going to be a little bit bigger, depending on the particular artist's style that you like. And that's going to be basically it for your manga. As I say, they use as little line as possible, as little muscle as possible, because 80% to 90%, they're going to dress this thing anyway. And then that's the hard part. How do you draw folds? I don't want to call it wrinkles, folds. And you just have to remember, wherever something pulls, you're going to get a line. If something pulls in this direction, you're going to get lines pulling in that direction. From wherever, either they're going to all converge here, or they're going to converge at the back and then go out. But they're going to go in that direction that something is pulling on. So if this is pulling this way, you're going to get lines that's going to come around there. If this is going back, you're going to get lines that go around like that. Since this is pulling back, you're going to get lines that's coming up like this. This is pulling this way. You're going to get these lines. This is pulling down that way. This is twisted a little bit, so you're going to get twisted lines. So that's just something, hopefully you saw that part when I was doing this arm. So that's just something that you're going to have to work on. You're going to have to do more fabric. And I don't know what type of story that you're trying to do. Is it a superhero story? Is it just, is it a fantasy kind of thing? Is it whatever? So that's one thing when you see these videos and they say, I'm going to show you how to draw, you know, manga style. that's basically you're looking at them draw their way of manga style. That's not showing you how to draw your way of manga style. So don't get fooled by some of these sayings of, oh, I'm going to show you how to draw this. I'm going to teach you how to draw that. I can show you the steps to draw something. I can't show you how to draw something. I'm not going to sit here and make these pretty pictures and you're like, wow, that guy can really draw. I can never draw like that. That's not my goal. My goal is to show you so that you can show the world what you created or what you can do. So facially. And it's not much, but the one thing they focus on, as I say, is the motion, clothes, and then when they do background, they go ahead and they put every piece of detail in background. So if you're trying to do manga and this you want to draw a TV and this is a TV right here, no, buddy, that ain't gonna work. I'm telling you, what they do is they take pictures of streets. They go out and they take pictures of the street, and basically they use a light table on your picture of your street, on that street, and then they just draw it line from line, especially in movies. They draw it line for line, and they do that in comics too. And then after they get, all the buildings that are there, perfectly lined because it's a photo, then they'll throw, the person there, or the giant monster, in there, destroying the city. That's the manga part. It's just so simple of design for a character or a monster or something. But the buildings, the background, if you ever look at and I'm sure you have, stop next time and look at the detail of the background. Basically, that's photographs. And there's nothing wrong with that. You should always use reference wherever you can. But these guys, they take it to the limit. And they put a lot of money into it, a lot of time into it. And they do quite well on a lot of these things. So if you're going to draw manga, or you're going to attempt to draw manga, simplify the body. Don't start out, I'll start out like this. I'll start out like that and that. Just figure, okay, I want this guy running. How do I want this guy running? When you run, you're going to lean this way. You're going to lean that way. One arm is going to go back. Draw it sketchy, just like this. As less muscle as possible. Which arm goes back? This arm is the front arm. And then shape it up. Shape it up. Don't worry too much about the body too much. If you're dressing somebody, and I always say that if you're dressing a drawing, then don't worry about, his abs, got to get the abs. Manga, you don't see too many abs unless you're seeing like the fantasy kind of warrior. Get those shapes in, because if there's tight clothes, you're going to have this shoulder right there. You're going to have this dip right here. You're going to have this there. Get those shapes right first. Then you have to come back and say, all right, dress this guy. T-shirt. Don't go too crazy with, wrinkles. Just your basic wrinkles. Just enough to show that, was this going back? This is kind of like curve around. Just enough to show that there is motion in this character. Get the big shorts on. And you're gonna have to put detail in clothes. That's just how it is. Because these guys, they don't skimp with detail. And it depends on how much realistically you want to draw your manga. Find pictures of clothes. Find as much reference on stuff that you can. the beginning, and then makes your drawing better. Makes your drawing better. You'll stand out above the crowd when you have a lot of detail. Even if you're drawing the Western style, if you have a lot of detail in your clothes, in your homes, in your cars, things like that, then you'll stand out. As I say, you'll stand out from the crowd. But the main difference is, again, the body is simplified. Is it palm, thumb? That's wrong. The thumb, yeah, thumb. No, that thumb is going to go in. Yeah, it's early. And the face, of course, the face. He's going to be looking at me as he runs. And the hair is hair. As I say, hair is hair. But if you look at manga, and I saw this I saw a model building thing where they were building a model of a manga character, and the hair, if this is the head, the hair was in pieces. It was like, this was piece number 1, and then they would glue piece number 2, piece number 3, piece number 4, piece number 5, piece number 6, and then they had, maybe a big old one piece in the back. But for those of you who are having trouble drawing hair, that's what you do. Just piece it together. Don't try to, okay, I want this and this and this and this and this, and have some kind of crazy looking hair. This is why, if you look at, especially like you look at Goku, he has these pieces of his hair. I don't know how his actual hair looks at this particular point in time, but if you look at each point would be a piece. That way you can continue to draw your character over and over and over again, and then he'll look the same. And if you ever notice cartoons, the way people, because someone said they can't draw the character over and over again, the main thing is the clothes. Look at Speed Racer. Speed Racer never changed, never really changed. I think maybe once he went to a party or something, but then he went back and put the same clothes on. Flintstones never changed their clothes. So if you have the same clothes, the face might be a little wonky, it might be a little different, but if you have the same hair every time, if you say piece number 1, piece number 2, piece number 3, piece number 4, piece number 5, piece number 6, 7, 8, and you keep those pieces, then your character will always look the same. Maybe one day your nose is like this, and then you just put a little thing on there, but it's still the same character because it's got the same hair. You got 2 eyes, the same shape. The shape of the face is usually the same all the time. Just like that. Guys may come down and have this little bend here, whereas girls are just like that. And the guys like this, give them a little jawbone, whereas the girls don't have it. But keep that there. Remember, the neck is going to be small unless you're drawing like, the big warrior type characters. And then shoulders, and I'm working on doing shoulders, the difference between female and male shoulders. Keep your neck small and your shoulders round like that. And it's not going to go real far out like a man's. A man's shoulders are going to be further out. You're going to have that straight neck. They're going to curve down, and then you have that. Whereas a female is going to be more curved like that, and then you have your little dip on your shoulders. So, but yeah, I plan on, as soon as I can figure out how to explain it so you guys can get that, I'm going to do a video on that. So let me draw a manga character just for the sake of drawing, and I'm hiccuping. All right, let's give this thing a try. So first of all, it's hot. I'm sweating. I don't know why. I just start sweating all of a sudden. Fever. You're going to have the motion, the direction, the motion. And because they're not thick, and a lot of things, they'll use a lot of the little S turns and so forth, like in the legs. They have like big curves, and then they'll actually like I say, they over exemplify, overstretch. They take it to its limit. So let's do this curve. So my body, okay, my center point here. The head, hopefully that won't go off. Your head is going to determine your size of your body when doing manga, whereas if you're doing the Western style, your torso is going to determine that. So let's just do this. Hands behind, and this is going to be a female. Shape is still going to be the same. That K, to draw that, the female body, it's just a K. And as I say, it's going to be a little, it's going to be a little longer. The legs a little longer. And of course, they do give shape to the face. It's not just this, and around. They will give some shape to the face, depending on how much the face is turned. And then, because you have to have room for your eyes, of course, and then your nose. So just, that's just the basic. So you got to know that they will have shape for the face, and then the little neck, and then your 1, 2, 3, 4 hair, and then your body. So, yeah. Just thought I would throw that in there. Okay, so you see, this is number one. This is really skinny. Doing a girl, female, young girl. Always young girls in anime and manga. The older ones tend to be more sexy, so. Or just old and crabby like the Ajima. No, that's Korean. I'm sorry. Watching too much Korean TV. So let's give her just a hint of some breasts here. Small waist. They always get you small waist. So it's going to come out and then in. Knee curve. Foot's going to be here. So that's going to be like basically it for the body. Of course, it's basically you're using a lot of squares for that. Not a lot of, circles and so forth as we do in the Western style. And then your head, as I say, it determines the age of the character. Now, if I dress this person, or this girl, so let's just say I put a jacket on her. So that is going to cover up. It's going to ride. Where is it going to go back? Go over there and drop down. And again, there is a lot of detail on the clothes. You gotta have a lot of detail on the clothes. Let's just say something like this. And of course, with girls, the dresses are always like overly short. So of course. And then let's give her the long schoolgirl stockings. Stockings, socks. on, Brian. Make that foot a little bigger. Give her something to stand on. More detail to the clothes. Of course, her hand is going behind her back. So, as I said, you're going to have the wrinkles. So, whenever you wear a jacket it comes down, slopes down, and your seam is not going to be here. T-shirt is going to be a seam, but a jacket, your seam is going to be way out here. So, if I drew a T-shirt, this is a T-shirt. The seam right here where this arm is sewed is going to be like straight up and down. If I drew a jacket, how do you do a jacket, Brian? I don't know. Right now my brain just shut off. Okay, so let's do this. Because the jacket is in two pieces because you have this collar. So instead of the sleeves being right there, a jacket is going to come down further like that. And then you're going to have the sleeve sewn on. So that's just something. Look at a jacket and look at a T-shirt. They give you more shoulder room, I guess, because you have to wear more clothes under it or something. I don't know. Or they put pads on suits. They put the little pads up there to give you nice little shoulders to make your shoulders look good. So just remember that when you're drawing clothes. I got too many lines here. Okay, so let's do this. This is why I use two colors. My clothes are going to be red. So she is going to have the big collar, jacket that comes around, and then hands going behind her back, get that kind of like a little cute position. There's going to be some folds right here, or some compression folds right here. Maybe a couple right here where it's pulling. Give her this dress. Actually, that would be like this. It's been a long time since I had to draw a collar on a shirt. Give her some detail. As I say, you're going to have to put detail depending on the style you want, depending on the type of story you're drawing. Manga always focuses on detailed clothes, detailed backgrounds, and detailed expressions. Find reference on clothes. It's good to get a mirror so that you can do like expressions, your own expressions in the mirror. That way you can see how expressions really look, just like the simplified versions of the expressions really look. The simplified, what is it? Not simplified, can't think of that name. When they're just small, the slightest little hint of, like distrust or sadness or whatever, when you don't really want to show the person that, you don't really trust them, the slightest little, you see that on your face in the mirror, and then you can, you learn to draw that. And again, reference for everything, tennis shoes, heels. Before you start drawing, it's best to get reference on whatever. If you're drawing army things, soldiers, clip out some pictures of, soldiers, or find some pictures of soldiers and their gear and their weapons. That way you won't have to work so hard at it. Now I could ink this. Maybe I'll ink this off camera. And another thing, a most important thing is you won't see, let's see, where's one of my guys at? In Western, bigger pen. We love to do this. We love to have our shadow. Oh, we got to have our shadow. But you won't see that in there because most of it is for, and I'm talking anime now, most of it is for color. But I guess, I don't know. I'm not even gonna say, that in the beginning we didn't have color because they did do watercolor in comics. I think that was the first coloring. But we have to make our shadow so bold and so bright. But in manga, they don't. It's just lines, motion lines, so that we can actually see the flow of it. So don't try to do, all this shadow, shadow. He's in a shadow. Unless he is in shadow, unless you have like some spy guy. But don't just do the basic shadow. Don't try to do, let's say, the Western style shadow. Good thing that didn't come through. What about using my red and then, maybe some kind of something, I don't know, a little cutesy design on the dress, maybe a little pocket or something. So, you got to get some cute girl clothes and give her a necklace. She's a magical charm girl, so she has to have her little magical charm necklace and a little, what do you call those things? A little choker. Make them cute. Make her cute. And then get your manga kind of face. So this is my chin. I'm going to go around like this. So nose. Is an eye crooked probably. And let's give her some lashes. And then the the all-powerful manga eye. And there's so many different ways that they do the eyes. But they're always going to have that light source. They always have that light source. So you got to get that light source. That, and then whatever kind of hair. So you're going to have this, sucks in, comes out, and then go around. And that face to me is like, it will be too long for her or too big for her right off the bat, because I should have done the whole face first and then threw the what's the name in. Let's see if I can erase that and try again. I like that eye. I like those eyes. All right, so this is going to be the shape of the head. It's going to be the whole head. So I'm going to put my eyes here. So I'm going to bring that down. So remember that nose is going to curve around and then come to this little point here. Not much difference. Except that chin. See, there's ways you have to look at it, because the chin, the mouth is like right at the chin a lot of times. So you don't want to get it, and that's the American, way of drawing, is to put the proportions in the right place instead of dropping them down. And that's something that's just practice. As I say, I'm not a big manga drawer, but you want to keep them close, just like small children. Small children, as I say, you're born with the same size eyes, but your face is close together. If I can give you an example, you have a baby with the wider cheeks, of course. You know, your nose is here, your mouth is here. Let's just bring it down. Mouth is here, your nose is here, and your eyes are like right there. Of course, you have the big eyes, little chin, and then the big head. So your face actually spreads apart as it grows, but in manga, they keep the things close together, like the nose, the mouth, and the eyes. They keep all those together. And if I have to do these eyes again, the whole thing is going to look like she's high already. And this is my style of manga, not like, you know, Toriyama or one of these other guys, Koriyama or one of these other guys. Let's see if I can ink this and screw it up. Small nose, crooked mouth, and the big eye, which is going to face this way. Eyelashes. And then that neck should have been, well, the neck should have been a little further back. But okay, so as I said, I'm not a big manga artist, so my manga skills are a little rusty. Not too many lines for your wrinkles or your fold or compression folds. And I should have used a big pen, which I'll probably go over when I finish. And I haven't done the hair because I have no idea what type of hair, and that can really screw you up. If you don't have that beautiful hair, that's a pocket. It's another pocket. How does that go? That goes like this. Pull line there. The dress goes like this. Jacket comes up here. Shoulder dips down. Curves, curves, curves. See, now I'm getting the too many of the wrinkles getting into the Western style. Folds, not wrinkles, Brian. Folds. Legs, knock this out. Just a little knee. Detail on that shoe, which is not going to happen. Find your reference, find your reference. Little knee. Giving that S curve. And some hair. Another thing is manga, they're not a really big fan of big thick lines. They don't really use line weight too much. There might be somebody out there that uses line weight, but you don't see, especially in manga, I don't think you see any line weight. You might see some, but it's not a big thing like here. We have to have that line weight. So as I say, it's easy in a way, but then it's hard in another way. Give it just a little shadow because that's me. That's just how I roll. Let me thick this line. And I just said we don't do line weight, but just because if I do line weight, I'm not gonna do line weight, just make it thicker. Are you talking to yourself? I am. Let's find out a little hair, some kind of hair, manga hair kind of thing. Just because, like I say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm just coming up with this. Sorry, I'm just coming up with that. 8, just thinking about how the manga stuff is. Take that hair off of her head. Maybe the short style. And then maybe straight across with a little cut like that. So yeah, all right, so I got the 1, 2, 3, and you have to keep count of these because if I'm gonna draw this girl again, I'm going to need to know how many pieces that I have and what direction, what curve, where they connect, and so forth. And I can do something like this, where it can be kind of like bangs. Did I ink her ear? I did, so that means her ear is behind her hair. A couple lines to show it's behind her hair. So I really want to put a thicker line right there. I don't know why. Go ahead, just go ahead. You see this? This is what it looks like. I'm gonna put a thick line behind it. Scream out, "No, Brian, don't you do it. You'll mess it up." I'm going to not try and mess it up. Just want a thick line to give it that more cartoony look. And I can't, there's my pen. I can't find my pen. So what that tells me is don't do it. It's just gonna be a little thin, thicker line. Little thicker. so that you can see it better. And it's just the outside of it. She's a killer. She's got a gun behind her back. She's just this cute little assassin. I just came up with that because, you know, why does she have her hand behind her back? She's going to pull something out. Keeping the shape. And only the older characters have that, you know, really curvy curves with the big, you know, size triple F breasts. The kind you can't really walk with. So going over everything, you have to have your own style. Everybody has their own style inside of them. It just hasn't come out yet because you haven't done a lot of drawing. You know, if you're a beginner, you haven't done enough drawing for your style to come out. So no one can say, this is how you do manga. They can say this is steps to doing manga, but this is not the one way to draw manga. I didn't do her socks. Thanks for shouting that out. So be careful when you go on these sites and you see, oh, draw manga. I'll show you how to draw manga in one lesson. It just, no, it just doesn't work that way. The body is simplified. I'm losing what I'm trying to say. The body is simplified. The face is simplified, except for the expressions. You have to learn your expressions, how to make great expressions by a mirror. Your hair is numbered. Number your pieces of hair so you can redo it again and again. It's best to do your front face, your profile, you know, your angle, 3/4 angle. That way you know what goes where. Is that the 3/4 profile? And then just have it, keep that, you know, handy. This is your front, this is your profile, this is your 3/4. And then do your hair. That way, regardless of how you draw or you turn your character will have that same hairstyle. And I could do this hair black and then not worry too much about it. Color it black. Kiriyama. I don't know. That just name is just running through my head. I don't know. Maybe I was looking at something about Dragon Ball and they were talking about the creator of it. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. So, other than that, that's all I can do about what showing you a manga. Is just follow those steps, those 3 steps, 4 steps, how many ever steps I said, and then all it is practice. To get your style is practice drawing over and over and over. When you're bored, just, you know, get a napkin, sit there at the dinner table with a napkin and then draw. Just draw. See, I'm doing shadow now. That's not manga style. And just draw. So simplified, oversimplified, undersimplified. That's probably going to be my, put it here, my thumbnail to get you guys to look at this video. So that's it for this video. And as I say, a lot of people ask me to teach them something. And as soon as I can explain it in a good way, then I will come along and show it. So that's going to be it. I'm still going to get my bell sound so you can say class is over. And then it'll ring and class will be over. I'm about to ramble, so I'm going to cut this short right now and just get up out of here. See you guys in the next video.